they say that in dictionary, optimistic is my picture there. So
That's fantastic. Yes, I love it.
I'll tell you, I was optimistic the entire time I was watching your film. It brought, even at the low moments, it brought a smile to my face. I love your sense of humor that you interjected through it. I knew I liked you the second I saw your creative logo, the Ori storytelling. I loved it. It was great.
Yes.
So I can tell the personalities coming through with that. That's really fantastic.
so really, sometimes you are born with your profession. So maybe this is what anyway, my name in Hebrew means my light. So in the audiovisual, media, maybe there's some kind of magic behind my name, my profession. So all my life, this is what I'm doing, telling stories as much as I can.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
absolutely. And it comes through with your work. I mean, not only obviously your film was fantastic, but I did some research on you and saw your other interactive work that you do. Very impressive career. Everything you're doing as a storyteller really is fantastic through so many mediums. Congratulations. It's really fantastic everything you've accomplished in your career.
Thank you very much. And, I'm over 70. And each year I'm starting a new romance with something new. So the movie that you saw, in fact, matter of fact, it's my 676th movie.
Wow.
Incredible.
But it's my first feature film.
Yes.
Yep. Because I never was there, all my life. I'm trying to find, let's say, things that nobody did before.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I've about 45 inventions in media. Even everybody talk about 3D.
Yes.
But in real fact, I was the first one to develop the 3D camera and projector and the first 3D movies in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So always I'm trying to invent the wheel in a way.
Yes.
But what brought me to make my first feature film was a story that I was involved in. And I said, wow, this story I must tell. And in a way, it was showing all my prediction of the future became true. Because I predict the internet in the year 1992. And I made a movie about that. And I say, this is science fiction. No way people will buy through the computer or a surgeon will do a surgery when the client is in another side of the world or whatever. This is science fiction, and it became true.
Yes.
So I decided I must be the guy who is behind it. And, life are bringing you to amazing adventures. And I met him finally, and we became best friends ever.
Oh,
and
wow.
one day he said, Ori, nobody's telling my story. Nobody knows my story. Let's do a book. I said, book is not my profession, but movie, why not? Let's do that.
That's fantastic.
And so I did my first movie, but there is a reason for that. It's not just a movie to entertain you. In matter of fact, I'm trying to catch a few birds in one hand. One thing is teaching everybody, even you, how to be a better entrepreneur.
Yes.
So this is the Sunflower Code that he has credibility. Through the Sunflower Code, he made huge businesses around the world and help others to do that.
Yes.
So one thing is to give you this gift for free of charge. No, we're not charging anything for that. The second thing is to raise the issue of the safety of the internet. And, he was involved in saving the internet.
Yes.
But today we have the AI coming. Wow. What we are waiting for.
Yes.
So I want to raise this issue. Should we be passive? Should we speak about the weather, complain about the weather, or should do something to change the weather? And I believe we can do. So I sneaked some kind of idea about it at the end of the movie, because my second movie will be the continuation of that one. So the first one is talking about the past.
Yes.
Second one will be the year 2030.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's not so far from today.
No, right around the corner.
Yeah.
And my hero, Rob Ryan, the guy I'm telling the story, is investing now in special pills for anti-aging.
Okay.
It's those are very well known, called M&M, and they're working from a long time, and I'm predicting that in the year 2030 they will work. So
Sure.
people will live for more time, and then there is a new problem. The old generation is not going anywhere. And the new generation say, whoa, we want to push you. We want to give us some space. And this will create another kind of tension in the world. And the AI will be there for the use of for bad and good. So this is the issue that interesting for me. And let's see in the year 2030 if my prediction this time was it will work, yes or not.
Well, I'm telling you, Ori, you seem right on top of it. I can see this actually happening. It's fantastic. I love your vision of storytelling. And I'm telling you, even the free gift, like you said, you gave to everybody, watching your protagonist's journey throughout the film, you can feel his entrepreneurship, what he went through, what that character did, and how much he had to sacrifice to actually get his vision coming across. And I'm telling you, people will be motivated by seeing this. I love that you showed it was very, very little success. He would get a success, get knocked back, get a success, get knocked back. His perseverance motivated me watching that film. I'm telling you, I felt motivated the entire time. And I'm not going to give away what happens at the end for anybody, but you're on this roller coaster journey with this individual. You did a fantastic job of bringing the audience into the world of what an entrepreneur would go through. Congratulations. That was really fantastic.
I love the shots you used also in the film. The cinematography is amazing.
So you know, we shot this movie not in the US. We shot it in Europe.
Sure.
So we have to create the 80s and the 90s there.
Yes.
So it was a challenge. But you know, when the strike came in US, we were safe.
That's good.
And the amazing thing here is that, you know, Rob Ryan, he started the video conferencing to make it real thing on the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
And when we started to produce the movie, the coronavirus arrived.
Mm-hmm.
So we started to produce the movie through the Zoom.
Look at that. Yeah.
His invention helped us to do that. And then another thing happened. When we wanted to start shooting, he got a back surgery and he couldn't come. So he watched everything through the Zoom. The invention helped us to do, you know, the movie about the invention. And another thing, you know, we are telling about the Sunflower Code, only give some hints about that. I produced the movie under the rules of the Sunflower Code. And the Sunflower Code, one of its main, let's say, topic is to ask the clients what they think about it. So what we call walkabout.
Sure.
And during the movie, all stages, from the idea, then the script, and then choosing the actors, there were hundreds of people involved. There were my helping team, and each time I gave them to see and ask them to vote, and we use that. So we use one of the principles of the Sunflower Code to produce the movie. So in a way, I say to myself, I have some proof in advance before the movie starts screening it that people love it, because I was, you know, talking with all kind of people from all ages, from all professions, and they gave me feedback. So I work with them. So I have to have some insurance, let's say, that this will work. And I'm happy because as for now, a few festivals already accepted us.
That's great.
And even one already gave us a award, a gold award.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
And we are going to have a world premiere in about 1.5 months in the heart of Hollywood, in the Chinese theaters.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Yes. Yep.
So this will be the world. I was asked in this festival to give a world premiere, and I agreed because for me, you know, it's a kind of a dream.
Are you kidding me? That's exactly where you do it. Absolutely, you do. That's
in the heart of the, you know, let's say the cinema world.
Yes.
And I hope, you know, my next step is to find the right distributor and to do the next thing, so everybody will see it. So from my perspective, it's not making money on the movie. because every money that will come, we'll invest again in all those kind of educational projects that we do worldwide. And we have 2 million students that we are working with worldwide with our 3D interactive movies.
That's fantastic. That's fascinating that you did it. How did you see the difference, Ori? Because you've been in this, obviously, in the storyteller and this career path for a very long time. From going from the interactive, working in that type of field, to going to a feature film, did you see a big difference in the process of getting it started and making it? Or again, were you kind of using the same type of, your came craft moving forward?
Well, this is an amazing question because, when I started, I say, I have no experience about it, doing a feature film. And I say, it's okay, I will take a lot of, many people that are experienced in this field to help me to do that. So in a way, I maybe will be a guest, in the process, giving the topic, giving all the information. But step by step, I found that I have to be involved. So in this experience, I wrote 40 or 50% of the script. I made a lot of in the direction in the movie.
Yes.
I produced it, so I was involved in any step. So in a way, it's all about storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And when you tell a story, it really doesn't matter if you're going this way, the other way, if it's a good story. Now, I'll tell you a secret. One of my inventions that I'm working very closely, it's a non-image cinema.
Okay.
You're going to a cinema, you're sitting in a theater, and the light goes down, and you hear only the soundtracks from the surround sound system.
Oh, very
Can you
interesting.
imagine sitting in a cinema for half an hour, hearing a story, no picture, just sound, and they're coming from all over places, and you are listening to that. So people thought that I'm crazy, and I knew that I'm not crazy because I have another previous experience with that, and I will tell you in a minute. But it's only a story, only sound, no picture, and people came out saying, "Wow, it's amazing!" So if you can tell a story in the dark, in the darkness,
Sure,
and you can do it in 3D. That I'm working there, what I call 6D. I made the motions theater. I the first cinema theaters in the world with motion inside. So really the effects helping me to increase the experience. But if you know to tell story in the darkness, you can do it elsewhere.
This is amazing. It reminds me of, I've been in one of those motion theaters, which is fantastic by itself, but your just sound without the imagery is like reading a book before you see the movie. So it's not the director's interpretation, it's on my own and the individual's own. That's amazing. Thank you.
This is what they say about it. And now I will tell you how I found it. First of all, my career, I started in the radio. So in the radio, I was making, all those kind of like Orson Welles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So I did about a lot of stories in radio when I was very young. I was 21 years old. But then I made my time elevator. Time elevator is my time machine that you go to the dawn of the history. You are entered to a theater. You have motion seats, usually 100 or whatever, and you are feeling like you are in an elevator going to the dawn of the history, because history is made by layers. So the modern one is the top, the oldest one in the bottom. So I started with the city of Jerusalem. I made many other cities. So you're coming to this theater, you are entering, you're sitting, and then you are falling with the time elevator down, and you are driving in between, flying in between the levels.
Oh, wow, yes.
See all history, vivid, because what is history? Wow. It's a gossip.
That's it. Very true. Very true. Yes.
You don't have to memorize names, dates. This is ridiculous. You have to understand the process of the history. So you're sitting in those seats, moving, and you're seeing all those events. When the war, you are crashing the walls or whatever. You have hotel, sands. You have all kinds of effects around you. And so you are really there, and you are learning history. And so I made this time elevator. First was in Jerusalem, then in Rome, and then in Cyprus, and in US, and finally in Agra, India.
Sure.
And so one day I got a request from a blind organization that they want to come to see my time elevator in Jerusalem. I didn't know if it's a candid camera or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
But you have to be polite.
Yeah, of course.
So I say, okay. And they came. They enter and they filled the whole simulators. They were sitting there. And at the end of the experience, they said it was the best movie we ever saw.
Wow.
Now, why? They have the sound. They have the motion. They have all effects. They have everything. And I said to myself, wow, if they made it, why shouldn't we do that?
That's so true. Absolutely.
That's great.
After 1 year, the same happened in Time Elevator Rome. Got a group of deaf people. They cannot hear the sound. So we brought in somebody that will play with the hands and show them the text. So they were there. They didn't listen, but they saw, they moved, they got all effect. They say, wow, it's an amazing movie. So if you're taking one of the sense out, it's still not an issue.
Sure.
You can compensate it with other, sense. So when I found myself doing the movie, and this is the long answer to your short question.
No. It's a great answer, though. It's fantastic.
About the difference between a regular movie and it's all about telling a story.
Yes.
It's about understanding the peaks and the low. Well, one of the things that I'm using in my movies is what I call the graph of peaks. And I'm trying to figure out in each scene how much humor, drama, romance, whatever. So what I did, I told all my hundreds viewers participating in the process to rank in each scene the level of each of the 5
wow, sure.
And they told me, and then I saw here I'm missing a humor. Here I'm using a romance. Yeah. So and I want to play in between the
yes,
drama, fight or whatever, and work with that, because this is what's help you to vivid the atmosphere. Not one line like when you have a person who is connected to a heart machine or whatever, and it's
like a flat line. Yes,
yeah.
Yep.
It's straight line. It's dead. You need to see all those peaks and lows. So this is the way I measure every movie that I'm doing with this graph, and hoping to get it, to bring you the message in a fun way.
I was thinking actually with that, sorry, Joe, with that focus group, it's a kind of a new focus group. If you're not seeing anything, right, it's going to be different. It's going to be their imagination. It's going to tell a story in a different way, because I believe a lot of times your eyes can mislead you, right? And this way, if you have all the other senses enhanced, that may be a more true story.
No, absolutely. And Ori, really, I felt throughout the entire film, it never, ever, like you said, flatlined at any point. And I was going to say that about you, the writing and the way it was directed. There was always humor interjected. I'm so glad you told that process of how you got there, because I was actually thinking that when I was watching it. I said, there's never a moment where I felt like something was missing, an element of the human emotion. So I always felt like I was on the journey with them and moving forward. It never was flat. So many films have scenes that get over heavy and take you out of it. You did such a great job doing that. And I'm glad you explained that process to everybody, because when people watch this film, they will feel all those emotions in every scene. It was a really well done job. It was fantastic.
So you know how we called it? Imagineering.
Okay, sure.
Okay, in a way, it's a method.
Yes,
but we are playing with the feelings and all those things. So we are keeping that the plan will work. And if you see, a lot of times I'm coming to the theater looking at the people, how they react, if they laughed, if they had tears in their eyes or whatever. So, I'm making a lot of presentations for my students programs, and I bringing tissues with me because I know that sometimes people will have tears. So I handle them the tissues. I know the right place when it will be fun. And if I see something didn't happen, I will go change it immediately.
Yep. You understand the craft of storytelling so well. I'd love to know, you said you worked in radio when you were younger. What got a young Ori to say, I want to dedicate my life to being a storyteller? There had to be some point in your life where you said, this is how I want to spend my life's journey, telling stories, changing the world through communication like that, because it's fascinating. You're great at it. What motivated you as a young boy or young man to go down this path?
I need to take you back to
I'd love to go back.
You know, as a child, in those times, we didn't have TV, only radio. And you know, you're talking with dinosaurs. So, so in those days, when I was a kid, we were listening to the radio and looking at the radio, you know, while we are hearing the stories or whatever. Now, we read a lot of books, something that's a little bit rare today.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I was reading where the French author that wrote all those amazing futuristic books, Jules Verne. And Jules Verne wrote amazing books that when I was a child, they already, some of his prediction already was there.
Sure.
So predicted, you know, submarine.
Oh, yeah.
Missile to the moon, or whatever. So all those things started to really appear in life, and I was fascinated by it. So I read every book, you know, a few times. So I started to write my own stories. It's great. Probably they were, you know, not big success, but I tried to do that, and I started to tell stories. So cinema, to go in cinema, it was not a regular issue, you know, to go to cinema. You can go once a month or 2 months. This was, and there was special days, Tuesday, whatever, two movies and one ticket.
Oh, beautiful. That's a good day. Sure.
Yeah. And so I was addicted to that. And then I started to make my own movies with papers and projectors to my friends.
That's great.
Was selling tickets to my movies.
That's great.
And when I was 16, I already made my first production company. And as a kid, I started to make slideshows to people who want to celebrate their weddings or anniversaries. So I took a shot of slides with a slide projector and sound that I was recording on a tape recorder. Who knows what is tape recorder today? And showing it. People say, wow, it's amazing. And from then, when I was going to the army, in my country, everybody has to serve in the army.
Yes.
I was lucky to be accepted to the army radio station.
Oh, okay. That's great.
So I was starting to do my shows. And one day somebody told me, can you help me to do multimedia programs? So what is multimedia program? He said, come. And he brought me to his home. He has 6 slide projectors, projecting pictures on the screen and soundtrack. And they were dissolving in a way. And he did panoramas with slides.
Wow.
And when he replaced it fast, it was even moving, you know.
Oh, great. Oh, sure. Yeah.
I was fascinated. And so at the beginning, I made the soundtrack for that. And then I said, no, I want to do the whole thing.
Sure.
So I started to make my first multimedia shows. And my first, when I want to be professional, my first program was how to boil an egg. Okay. So it was a 5-minute show that somebody is trying to boil the egg, and he has many accidents. He couldn't do that, and he was angry, so he started to eat something. at the end of the show, there was no boiled egg.
No,
you know?
Oh,
But
that's funny.
I used that as a movie to show my abilities.
Sure.
And from that small boiled egg, I came to what I am today with many
That's
chickens.
great.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Really, what a story! What inspiration! Because it was always embedded in you to do that, and look how it grew. That's really a fantastic story, Ori. It's fascinating.
So, it came from nature. People ask me, where do you get your ideas from? I don't know.
I heard this morning Quentin Tarantino encouraging people to create their own films because, as you say, you go to the theater, they're all remakes of things in the 80s. So I love what you're doing. You're creating new product, which is fantastic, and telling new stories.
Now, he's almost my neighbor now. He's living now in Israel.
Okay.
There you go, right?
Maybe you collaborate together.
Not yet, but who knows?
You never know.
I'm telling you, I mean, for your venture going in, obviously you're in this craft for a long time, but what an impressive debut for a feature film. Really, the film is fantastic. It's beautifully shot from start to finish, the pacing of the storyline, and your actors.
Really
the process was
very good.
finding them, because all these actors were really fantastic. I mean, I felt for the journey, and it was really fantastic. I loved your lead. He was fantastic.
I think we didn't mention the name of the movie.
That's right.
Beginning.
That's right.
People will listen what we're talking about.
The man who saved the internet with a sunflower, everybody. It's fantastic, really, and it's gotten to the festival circuit now. Again, we'll put it at the beginning, the man who saved the internet with the sunflower, and you'll see why. It is a phenomenal tale. It's really fantastic, so well done from start to finish. Anybody who's interested in any entrepreneurial journey, a story of the human condition, or just good storytelling will really appreciate this film. It was fantastic.
So, now this is all the past. Now we are in the future. We are going to our next project, and I'm concentrating in two areas, in three areas. One is making the second movie.
Yes.
The continuation of the man who saved the internet with the sunflower. And the second thing, I'm continuing with my life-changing experiences. My life-changing project is a 3D interactive set of movies with 2 million students worldwide in 4 continents watching it in order to change their intention to behave in dramatic areas like drugs, bullying, safe driving, all those things. And it's all under research. So we are checking if they really change their behavior.
That's great.
Oh.
So we are not just storyteller. Storytelling, it's nice. We are using the storytelling in order to change the behavior and the perception about the topic. And it's amazing to see in 90 minutes, each one of my experiences are 90 minutes. They're sitting with 3D glasses, remote control, interactive. And we start the process when we ask them a few questions. Let's say we are talking today about drugs.
Yes.
We asked them before the show with those clickers, have you been taking drugs? Which kind of drugs? And so they answer, and immediately on the screen, we see the answers.
Sure.
So we have 200 people in the auditorium, and we see that 25% of them are taking drugs, and they are you and people, your student. And everybody saying, no way. And I'm totally telling you, it's worldwide. I get the same.
Sure.
I have the data of 2 million people, young people worldwide. So the same type of behavior. And then we ask them questions of perception. How much it's dangerous to a person like you to take it? The answer, no danger, a little bit danger, more danger, whatever. At the end of the experience, we ask them again the same question. How dangerous is to do that? And you see the difference. In 90 minutes, 20%, at least 20% change the perception about the topic.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't fight them. We didn't tell them, don't do. We just show them what happened when they take the drug. And they see in the 3D, we are using the 3D so powerful. So they see what happened with the drug appearing in your brain, what happened there. And nobody wants to take it after that because those are facts.
Sure.
If you know that and you see it. So we making really life-changing experiences. It's under research, constant research. So we're using the movies not just to tell you a story, but change your behavior, intention to behave. The same way I'm trying to do with the man who saved the internet with sunflower. I'm raising question. How much is dangerous to use that? What we should do in order to use it? And my hope is that people, after watching the movie, will Google, look, what is the sunflower model? Well, and so for that, I created a website that the people who come inside to understand more about it, they can use it. They just can use it and see and talk about it, and they will communicate with us. And this way, it will be more than a movie. It was a movie and really a little bit more of that. And whenever they want to get an entrepreneurship course, they can get it in the website.
I love that. I think the whole thing about this Google you mentioned and the human brain, I think, is modeled after Google. So depending on the question you ask the brain or Google determines the type of answer you get. So you're changing the person's belief system in a 90-minute film by educating them. It's amazing. Fascinating.
And you know what? The first movie I did with Rob Bryan, my hero of the movie, was in 2015. And it was 2015, and I created Ask Rob feature.
Oh.
It's the first AI type of feature. They could ask only in writing. In those times, we didn't have the ability to. So they asking questions, and I was doing the whole dirty work or writing all kinds of questions they can ask, all scripts, and the answers that he will give them. It was very, so, it was primitive, not like
today. Not like today, yeah.
But this is today very easy. So part of our service will be ask Rob questions. They will ask him questions and get answers. And today it's much more easier for me to arrange it.
No, this is fascinating. Ori, I have to tell you, you are one of the most fascinating individuals we've had on this show. Not only are you somebody in the arts that loves storytelling, you want to change the world. You can tell you want to be out there. And I love that you see that throughout your film, too. Your main character, he's not in it for the money. He even says that during the narration. They said it wasn't about the money for him. It was about being part of that product to get the story across, to make sure people were changed in the right way. And I see that coming through you in such a big way. And I'm sure your friend obviously is the same way. That's so important. It really shows your character of a person. Really, really just well done as a human being is fantastic.
So I told you that I'm doing three type of things. One thing is the feature film. The other one is life-changing experience. I'm involved in the third area. I'm in helping the management of one of the non-profit organization, biggest one is in my country. We are servicing 1.3 million people with free health care at home.
Wow.
Now, what is the idea about that? I don't know if you are aware, but when you are going to hospital today, some percentage of the people who go there to be healed from one reason are getting illness. Another kind that during the hospital, because, bugs are
germs,
and many of them die. Wow. And we are talking about thousands of people a year that are dying because they got some kind of infection at the hospital. So we are to give you all kind of services you can at home. Only go to hospital if you need emergency or you need surgery. So you get all kind of technology you need for free. Nothing, no cost for that. And we're serving 1.3 million people, and we have 120 branches all over the country. So you can go land whatever you need. And now people are saying, wow, what a saint you are. I say, no, I really egoist, because when I give, what I get, it's really much more than any money I can get. So when you do such a thing, you get the adrenaline back better than that. So in order to show those services, I have built two kind of big visitor centers. So movies, I'm showing all kind of services you can get and how you can help others. So we have 7,000 volunteers.
Oh, wow.
So 7 volunteers are really getting much more than they're giving in this organization. Some of them, they are handicaps. So some of them coming with somebody that's pushing them with a wheelchair, and they feel that they can do something good for the world. It's give them self-confidence.
Sure. Yeah.
So the giver is getting, the one who gets is getting and giving. So those kind of things, this is what motivates me. And this is why I maybe was born for. Yeah. So I'm doing my best. I hope that in my grave and my stone will written, at least he tried.
And I'll make sure if I'm still around, I'll go there and carve it in there, man.
No, and you definitely did. Ori, again, what you have done and accomplished in your life, not just this movie, is how do you even put it to words? Like you said, you're accomplishing so much, you're touching so many lives. Now, I know our listeners and viewers are going to want to learn more about you. Is there a website now? I know your company has one where they can research your company, research you. Any websites, places people can find more information or get in contact with you?
Yes, there is a website very special. My name, www.Ori, O-R-I, Yardeni, YARDENI.com. That's all. You don't need to. Or they can go and see the movies website. It's called The Man Who Saved the Internet with a Sunflower. This is very simple.
No, that's fantastic. Keep it simple. Get people there. I have to tell you, you are a fantastic individual. I cannot wait for your film to premiere over in Los Angeles. Good luck with that, because I know it's going to be fantastic. We'll try to spread the word as much as we could from our end. You really deserve all the success you're having. Anything you guys are doing, we'd love to promote you in any way. Please keep in touch, because you are a fantastic individual. It was so good having you on our show. Thank you. We're humbled to even be here with you. You are a phenomenal individual. Thank you so much, Ori.
You see my T-shirts?
Yes.
Yeah, Ori. That's fantastic. I didn't see that before. I have one more thing to add to that, Ori. They may call us all crazy. I'm talking about Joe, you and I, but crazy people change the world. I love where you're coming from. You have all heart. Thank you so much for your time and for what you're doing.
Thank you very much for you to helping doing that. Each help can make a big difference.
No. Remember, everybody, it's The Man Who Saved the Internet with a Sunflower. You guys will be seeing that very soon. They will be seeking distribution after their festival circuit. It's fantastic. Ori, thank you so much for coming on the Live Your Dreams podcast. We'll be sure to be in touch, and we'll be in touch with you. Make sure you let you know when this comes out. And everybody, make sure to go to the websites. We'll have them in the links below. And we'll see everybody next week. Ori, thank you so much for coming on board. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.